As promised, welcome to this new video. As promised, we will now see the history of Berlin Wall and the reunification of Germany. In the last video, we saw that how World War II affected the formation of NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. World War II started on the 1st September 1939 when Germany attacked Poland. The world was divided into two groups, Allied powers and the Axis powers. Allied powers were USA, starting from UK, the United Kingdoms, the France, later joined by Soviet Union and the USA. Soviet Union joined on July 1941, whereas USA joined on December 1941. The Axis powers were mainly Germany, Japan, and Italy. There is an important pact between Germany and USSR which must be talked about here. This is Joseph Stalin, the General Secretary of USSR, and this man is Ribbentrop. He was the Nazi German party head. They had a pact, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, or the Stalin-Hitler Pact, which was signed in 1939. This pact was a pact for non-aggression, and USSR promised Germany that during the course of war, if anything happened, USSR would not aggress against Germany. And this pact was for a period of 10 years. But USSR violated this pact on July 1941 and entered into the Allied group. Also, on 7th December 1941, Japan, which was an Axis power, attacked Pearl Harbor, and thus USA entered the war. As both these superpowers entered the war, and United Kingdoms, which was then a major economic powerhouse, was already in the Allied powers, these three created a united front which was strong enough to defeat Hitler. Or not even defeat Hitler, it was strong enough to change the power dynamics of that time. The dynamics that was working with Hitler up till now had now been changed through the introduction of USA and USSR. The dynamic shifted, causing large-scale reverses for Germany. So it was now important for these three, which three? United Kingdom, USA and USSR, the leaders of these three, to sit together and talk about the future of Germany once the war had ended. But the war was still going on and Germany was on brink of loss, but they had not lost the war yet. So the future was first decided. The first meeting in the three big meetings was the Tehran meeting or the Tehran conference. But this conference is not talked about here, as because the Tehran conference simply talks about the fact that once USSR, both the UK and USA made a pact with USSR that once Germany is defeated, then they would together fight against the Imperial Japanese forces. So this was the basic outcome of that conference. But for the future course of Germany, the Yalta conference is important, and it is very much important. In the Yalta conference, it was talked about for the first time that Germany must surrender unconditionally. Unconditionally. This was done on the month of February 1945, before the Germany had surrendered. So they demanded for the unconditional surrender of Germany or the German forces. Yalta is a place in Crimea, then USSR. Also, the next pact or the next conference in this line is the Potsdam Conference, which created a major role, which had a major role in the creation of the division of Germany. The Potsdam Conference was also done. The Potsdam is a place in USSR, then USSR. So, the Potsdam Conference, in this Yalta Conference, sorry, I forgot to mention one thing. In this Yalta Conference, the three big leaders were Joseph Stalin. This man is Joseph Stalin. The rightmost man is Joseph Stalin. As we mentioned, he was the General Secretary of USSR. This is President of United States of America, Franklin D. Roosevelt. And this is the Prime Minister of UK, Winston Churchill. Talking of the Potsdam Conference. The Potsdam Conference was the third conference in the line. It happened after the German forces had surrendered, but the Japanese forces had not yet surrendered. So this conference was specially done to decide the future of Germany. So as taught, this conference was attended by the Prime Minister of Britain or UK, Clement Attlee, President of United States, Truman, Truman, or and the General Secretary of USSR, Joseph Stalin. The Potsdam Conference promised to divide Germany into four military zones. Four military zones. The northwestern zone was supposed to be controlled by Britain. The western zone was supposed to be controlled by France, and the southwestern zone was supposed to be controlled by USA, while the eastern zone was supposed to be controlled by USSR. In this map, we can see that the division of Germany: USA, USSR, Britain, and France. The Potsdam Conference also sought to resolve Germany and end the regime of the Reich of Germany. The last Reich's regime was up to 1945. This division continued till 1949. The first merger between the two powerhouses, that is UK and USA, was done, and it was known as Bisonia. Bisonia was the first merger of USA and UK, while Trisonia was the second merger between the Bisonia and France, creating what we know as West Germany, which was together controlled as an administrative unit under USA. This is what is known as West Germany. And this is the East Germany. They are known by different names, such as this was known as Federal Republic of Germany (FRG), and this was known as Social Democratic Republic of Germany. So it was controlled by USSR, and this side was controlled by USA. Also, in this time, NATO was formed. As we talked in the last video, that NATO was formed. So that created a more complex geopolitical scenario due to the Korean War of 1950, in which West Germany was requested by USA to maintain the geopolitical dynamics of the area due to a possible threat from Soviet aggression. So this part of Germany was requested by USA to maintain the dynamics in Europe due to a possible aggression from USSR. So now moving on, the tension between NATO increased, and in 1954 the Warsaw Pact took place. The Warsaw Pact was the response of USSR to the NATO. Simply put, it is nothing else but the response of USSR to NATO, creating a more complex geopolitical world in that part of the Europe. So, in 1961, finally, a Berlin Wall came up due to the movement of migrants from East to West Germany, and to stop it, the Berlin Wall came up. We can see in this image the Berlin Wall. And after lot of mass struggles, democratic and demographic surveys, and the falling standard of life of people, there, there were many mass struggles in the period following. This was also the time when the Cold War had started, and in 9th November 1989, finally the Berlin Wall fell down after mass struggles. Berlin Wall fell down after mass struggles, and finally Germany was reunited on October of 1990. Reunited Germany. We can see in this map how Germany looks today, and we can see the wall was here, the Berlin Wall that divided them both. Also today, that Germany is controlled through Berlin, and Berlin is the capital of Germany, and there is the greatest city of the largest city of Germany is Bonn. So that's all for this video. In the next video, we shall talk about the functions of NATO and how it shaped the geopolitics of that time. Thank you for watching. Do consider a like, share and subscribe.